For sure. So, next topic. I feel like this is going to need to be its own podcast eventually, but let's talk about champs. Because that I feel like
Yeah.
that was a big change because he started off with Slayers, right? Or at least
Yeah.
between the two
Yeah,
of you
he
guys.
did.
He was with a Texas team. And again, well, I'll probably do a
Yes.
whole podcast with him about his history because I think he kind of deserves that with his status. So maybe
Right.
he'll champs if you're watching this, hit me up. Let's get this going. But yeah, Slav, do you want to start with that, and then Johnny, we want to talk about once Slav kind of starts with that, what your side of the story is with getting champs to join you guys.
Sounds
Yeah,
good,
no
man.
problem. Sounds good. I'll leave the details on champs, for him to talk about. But I will say for us, we we were looking for players. We were looking for guys that want to join our team. I think people circled Texas as an important clan just based on the history they had. I know maybe they didn't rank as high or didn't get championships, but they had a lot of good guys in the beginning. And unfortunately, their leader went inactive. So champs kind of held that team together for a long time. Um, I know Johnny visited them, tried to get to talk to them, and for whatever reason, they just never were able to communicate. JRT on our side, he went over, he talked to him, and surprisingly, Champs put out a Facebook post, and then Jack saw it first, and Jax messaged him, and we went on like the college recruiting trail. We just started like laying it on like, hey, this is what we can do. This is our team. We're very hungry. You come aboard. We're gonna take this down. We're gonna take number one eventually. And he was like, all right, cool, let's do it. And I think in the beginning, Champs didn't know where he fit as far as our squad because those who know Champs now, he's a very, outgoing guy. He's a very guy that's very proud of all the things he's done with, his accomplishments. And at the time, for us, we're very button up, blue collar as far as like, hey, we just put in the work, we grind, we don't really talk about it, we do it. And, we've evolved as well too. But at that time, it didn't really fit his style of like how he would usually be. And I think it was an odd fit in the beginning. I mean, he tried his best. He tried to work with players. He tried to communicate. And I mean, even for myself, like I was constantly recruiting. So I was like, great, you're on the team. Go ahead, do what you do. And I just went about his business. And you know, we fell up short a couple times, and I think he felt like it just wasn't a good fit for him. So he started, looking for inroads. He started, looking for ways to communicate, and I think he made communication with G Money. So I think from there that usually would cross over to Johnny's side of the story there.
Yep. And it's funny because I had Bash champs and I had Bash champs to Slavo and to several others. I was pissed at him. I wanted that dude so bad. I went there several times and it got back to champs. And he came on and G Money's like, Johnny, just be cool. I was like, man, this guy's got a huge ego. He was calling himself Bombs Killer or something like that,
Yes.
which JRT came to us and apologized. But it's funny because I got on there and the first thing Champ said is, "What's up, asshole?" I was like, all right, this is going to go good. And I was like, what's going on, dickhead, or something like that. And he said, or then I said, what's your plan for the future? And there was a long pause before he typed. And he was like, well, I really don't have one. But I know I did look at triple threats. And I was like, no, champs, that's the problem. We were bomb threats. And from there, we just agreed and became pretty good friends on top of it. I never would have, me and Slavo agreed not to, recruit each other's people. And we didn't do that. So I never would have went after him. But when he just comes over, and Slav, I contacted you right after that and said,
Yeah.
this dude came here, and you were like, I know he did. Don't worry about it. He was leaving regardless. So
Yeah.
that's the story behind champs.
Yeah, no, that definitely we knew for a fact that you guys didn't reach out to him. It was more just like I said, the fit wasn't there at the time. Like we weren't the team that we are today. I'll definitely admit the way we go about our business now, we're a lot more relaxed. We try to have a lot more fun. But at the beginning, I think we were so uptight trying to get that first title. So we're like, we got to do it the right way. We got to we got to try and, be respectful, make sure, no mean emojis and all that. Now we're just like, who gives a fuck? Just do it. just have some fun with it.
I will say, I feel like that whole champ situation almost bettered both teams. And why I say that is,
I agree.
Champs definitely had the videos, or he had the talking about always beating some of the top players from the bomb side and seeing those screenshots. Obviously him moving over to bombs, was an instant, extra 10K plus, if not more at the time, right? So, but that also fueled the Slayers to really step it up even more because we weren't winning at that time. No. So losing a big guy almost pumped us up more, especially losing him to bombs, right? It just was like, all right, we really got to find out different ways and step up and, just take this whole thing to the next level. So
yeah, definitely. I feel with that happening, instead of it just being like, all right, there's a handful of guys that really want to be number one, it made the whole team as a collective try to take this, and everyone was on the same page as far as we need to be on, for battle. I don't care if it takes 72 hours straight. We're going to do it. We got to do it. And that's kind of what ended up happening there.
For sure. All right. Next, recruiting wars. I have Kodahima and Shochan.
All right. So that would be me. So a big thing for us that we felt very important was that we had international members. Reason being was we wanted to be all inclusive. We weren't tied to a certain nation. We dominantly speak English, but we felt if we could gather the world's best players, that helped us to a certain advantage, especially if we played at different time periods and things like that. A very important one is Kodahima. One of our managers, Slav, he played a very important role in our early days. He would travel to different clans, and he was very good with translating and talking to different members. One of the important people that he brought on was Kodahima. And funny thing, I think we had a bunch of screenshots of players that we wanted to visit, and this guy just was always whooping on me. I was like, man, this guy is waving and he's just destroying me. Like, we got to talk to this guy. And Slap went over there, and I feel like the best relationships we've ever had, there was very little pushback as far as like just talking to them in the very beginning. And like Kodahima was just all in open arms, like, yeah, let's do it. I want to join. And he took a big jump. I don't know if most people understand culturally, but Japanese players, they very like to stick to themselves. They like to stay in their own nations. And he took a leap of faith. He decided he wanted to give it a shot. He wanted to try. And he opened up doors for us. He went out to different other clans, to Japan. He went to talk to other players. He tried to make the international scene know that, hey, KingSlayers is open for all clans, all nations. We're not here just trying to run it as just an English dominant group. And his best friend just happened to be Shochan. And Shochan, I think in a lot of our inner circles probably would say he's probably top 10, one of the best players in the game, as far as just the way he plays and his accuracy. And picking him up, those two guys, it led to a very dominant run for us as far as the international players that we picked up on our team. So that was very important.
You just described what A1 and SK did for us. You just described it. A1 learned English writing skills in the United States, but couldn't speak a word of English. But those writing skills, man, came in handy. So that's exactly, and they were original members though. But you're right. A lot of the Asian clans, they only want to play among their people. And I say that with all due respect, but they don't want to branch out.
Yeah, so I feel like, definitely for your team and for our squad as well, too, that, we felt being open. Oh. Did we lose him?
We might have lost him.
Okay.
In the meantime, this is a commercial break. This podcast is brought to you by TapTony.com. If your dog can walk, we can walk it. Welcome back, Johnny.
Hey.
Yeah. We didn't miss anything. We stopped. But yeah.
We stopped. So no, I was just saying, like, I think both of our philosophies, we felt that the more people we had from different countries, the better off we were. We weren't opposed to just closing doors to people. And I think that philosophy helped us both out as far as, you know, our brands. So yeah,
Right.
definitely.
I think you guys were more successful getting other cultures to join. I think you guys absolutely were. I drove that point. I was about to email Hagen and ask for a flag with a globe on it. Honestly, it's just that American flag being stuck there. A lot of people are not going to want to do it.
Anything else that either of you want to add about the Kotohima Shochan kind of addition there?
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they're very good players. Yeah, they're very good. Happy retirement, Kodahima. Happy retirement.
No
Actually,
doubt.
both of them,
Yeah.
right? I think Shochan's retiring soon.
Soon.
Awesome. So, talking about the first 4 bomb threats winning in a row, Johnny, as far as, you know, what really attributed to the 4 wins in a row, you know, what motivated your team, and what motivated you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, Lucky Bombs was the original Czar or Evil. He was a superstar. A1 Bombs was a level below, but he was a superstar. I always tried, this game is addictive. I've always tried to put up big points. Back then, 5K was 10K, and we were all achieving it, but Lucky hit 10K. I mean, that's Brody numbers. And that's what started that run, that first run. We just all dedicated as much time as we could, period. That's what started that run. That was the most, I'd say, the most satisfying run in the game for me because Star Moon literally looked unbeatable. I mean, at the time, they looked more unbeatable than we ever did, or in my opinion, KS ever did. They were just, and they talked a lot. They were talking, Brody was talking a lot. So we just wanted that bad. Yeah, that was a fun time, definitely.
I think I remember on their clan bulletin, when I first started playing the game, and this is when they were winning. They were in Sphinx. So Sphinx was the top stadium, and they were always like, "Come see us, little bombs in Sphinx" or something like that. I just remember reading them like, "Man, they're such trash talkers. They must be like really good if they're like talking trash like that." I'm like, I wonder if anyone will ever
Brody
top them.
Brody was the best. He went on whatever, Facebook Messenger, whatever it was, and he contacted Lucky and he said,
Yeah,
"Oh, you, you
I
cute
saw
little
that.
bombs."
I
Yeah,
saw that.
and Lucky was like, "What do you mean cute?" And Brody came back and said, "No, seriously, I think you're cute." And Lucky was like, "Yo, man, I'm married." So he got under Lucky's skin. Lucky went on to post all these comments about his wife, and he took it personally. It was a good strategy.
I
Oh,
remember.
that is
I think
awesome.
I went to the Facebook page for the actual HRC, like the company, and like they would promote like different, you know, times they have like different packets and, you know, the gems and stuff like that. And like I just saw like a verbal war between Lucky and Brody, and I'm just like, what's going on over here? Like I didn't realize there was that much tension in the game. I was like, wow, okay. This is like October, November time. I was like, okay, interesting.
Scared, cute little bombs. That's what I heard a lot.
Definitely good times. All right, so after the 4 wins in a row by bombs, KingSlayers stepped in and won 5 in a row, which also kind of brought the startup of some controversy of the 1v1 split controversy. So I'll let Slav start off what the what the details were from our side, and then I'll let Johnny talk about what his team, what his thoughts were, and how things were from there, and what came out of it.
I
Okay.
wouldn't have brought this up, by the way.
That's cool. I trust me.
It's
I'm
something to be
sure.
discussed. It needs to be.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
definitely a hot
sure
topic.
I'm sure people would say we're sandbagging if we didn't bring out all our skeletons. So, I will say this: when we were always motivated to win, and we wanted to beat bombs. That was always our motivation at that time. And when we went into that battle that first time we won, it wasn't any different as far as like a feeling of like, oh, I think this is the time we're gonna win. but we were definitely motivated. We were definitely like, we had 30 or 35 guys ready to go, and we were willing to stay up, as long as it took. And for whatever reason, that time around we did win. We talk about it as far as scheduling and communication, and sometimes everything clicks for a clan, and sometimes everything doesn't click for a clan. And I don't know what's going on the other side, but for us, everything was clicking, so we went at it, and we were able to win. After the fact, things came out communication wise, because Champs did go over to Bombs, and he shared with him one of the strategies that we had as a team. And this wasn't my strategy, but our management team, they started talking, and it came down to trying to be efficient with your time, trying to be efficient with your points. And for those who play the game, clan battle wise, there's 3 games you get to play against one person. You can rematch, or you can choose to opt out, and you get points when you win for clan battle. We felt that we have 5 clans together, we should take advantage of that, and when we get matched up together, we should split off. We should give each other a game. And other teams have tried it. I'm not going to say that we were the only team that did it. I'm sure there was, but we did perfect it. I will say we did have the guidelines in place, so we wouldn't get mad at each other. We wouldn't have blow-ups. Stuff did happen. People did get mad at each other. We made it optional. We didn't make it mandatory that every single player had to do it. We had the emoji signing so people would know if they were going to do it or not. But we were very efficient at it. So we had 5 clans, and it's not like we ran into each other all the time, but especially for our top guys, playing our top guys on different clans, they definitely did run into each other quite a bit. And it did give us an advantage, because not only are you winning one game and they're winning a game, but then also the time as well too, because when you're not swinging, probably takes you like less than 30 seconds when a game takes 1:35 to play. So that did give us an advantage at that point with the amount of people that we had. Johnny did bring it to our light and made it public news what we did, and some people didn't like it, some people didn't care. But like everything happens, things evolve, and they talked to the developers, and eventually they got that out of the system for clan battle, and that was fine. That was one thing we did to win, but we were very confident that we had the guys talent-wise to do it regardless. And I mean, I think after the second battle that we had won, they had already edited the game where rematches were no longer a part of the game. And you just had to play your one game and then go and look for another player to play. And we still did what we did. But I know it did ruffle feathers for people the way we won in the beginning. But I will say that we were doing that even when Johnny and his team was winning 4 in a row. Like, I think we started that in February, and you guys were still on your run.
Yeah,
so you guys were still whooping us even when we were doing it. So yeah,
sure.
I don't remember how I found out who sent me the message. I want to say, I can't remember. I want to say G Money, but I don't think he was there yet. So I don't know.
I'm sure it was.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I'm sure it was Champs, because he had screenshots of everything we did while he was on our Discord when he was a part of our team.
You're exactly right. That's who it was. Yeah. It was Champs. Yeah. Oh man, I used that screenshot a lot, and I may have gotten a little emotional over it, but yeah, I was a little.
In the end, though,
it was.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
You first.
I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead, Hob.
Oh, sure. So, I mean, in the end, it made the game better, right? So, they changed the rules to where, there's no more rematches, and that way things were straight up. And I actually kind of like it with no rematches at this point, too, because that way you don't have the people complain about, why didn't you rematch me? You're too afraid, or blah, that whole other thing. So, there's definitely a lot of things good that came out of it. But it definitely sparked some controversy, especially in the Facebook world.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I will say that after that happened, a lot of our team members afterwards, when that was all done, we were like, all right, we need to make sure we play everyone straight up. We need to beat everyone based on our skill levels. So every single glitch that came after that people found out about, when people wanted to talk about, we pretty much shut down on our team. Like, nah, don't do that. Like, we got to make sure we win straight up. the legacy that we're carrying here, the teams that we're trying to beat. Like, we need to make sure that we go above and beyond, that we're clean, so other teams know that we're not messing around.
Right.
For
In
sure.
the end, I'll say this too. Someone called me out on Facebook, obviously a Kingslayer, and said simply, Johnny, if you lose this next battle, will you STFU? So yes, I had to. I had to. Simple as that. And I told him yes. He said, thank God. And guess what? You guys won it. So
I will say that was probably my most memorable battle. The one right after they shut down the 1-1 stuff, or the rematch stuff, was
right.
KingSlayers versus USA BombZ. That was probably a very memorable battle for me.
Let's talk about that. The KingSlayers versus USA BombZ. Johnny, how did that merge come about? Or even, I don't know if it's a merge or just a little deal at that time. Break that down for us.
To me, it wasn't a merge. It was never a merge. It was never going to be a merge. They pretty much made it clear and then kind of wavered here and there. But just like when me and Slav had negotiations, that felt like it wasn't really, for obvious reasons, it wasn't going to happen. USA only ended up sending the first time 4 guys, Basher, EPZ, and Fanch. Actually, the second time also, I believe. But yeah, so they just came and helped out. And that first time when we got together, KingSlayer still whooped us. It wasn't that effective. The second time we beat them, but
yeah. Well, I will say this: that battle, there was a lot of high emotion going into it, because the rematch clause was gone, and even though I felt confident in our team, there was always that air of like, really, was that what helped us win? Was the rematch clause, or was it because we're actually that good? And that first night, you guys came out like a ball of fire, and I think you guys took a pretty good sizable lead going into the evening time. And I had my doubts that evening, like, oh man, like maybe we couldn't take this. And by the time morning came back up, we had taken the lead back, and I was like, okay, we really did face adversity there. And something that you guys had up your sleeve was SAR return for that battle. And I think that kind of shook quite a bit of guys. I know it got to me because I was in Spinks, and that guy was tearing it up in Spinks. And literally that Sunday night going into Monday, like, we knew that we had to hold the line, and like SAR was just mowing us down. And I remember I told our guys, I was like, just play the game as long as possible, drag it out. Even if he gets the W, just take up as much time as you can on that minute 45 so he can't go into another game. So like, we were just trying to just grin and bear it by that last night. And by the time morning came and we saw we still had the lead, and our morning guys woke up, then yeah, that was a pretty good feeling there, because I really felt like we were tested at that moment. So that was a very satisfying victory.
see, that's where you guys had a big advantage. You had a night shift. We had a very small night crew. You guys had a legitimate night shift. I don't know why, no matter where you get the points, it shouldn't matter, but it does hit the confidence. So you guys did well there.
Yeah, we took pride in having that international team, and then even the guys that lived in the U.S., like, we had a lot of night owls that would play well through into the early morning, and like, yeah, we took pride in that. So we felt that every hit that you guys gave us during the day, we could counter back at night, and that was one of our strong points.
For sure. All right, next up, let's talk about Taiwan Star. Johnny, what you got?
That was fun. I